Hey guys, it's Israel here, and I'm here with, I think, the last point that I want to make before I take the big leap into explaining this aha moment I had. And I've been laying out the foundations of that, talking about some really weird stuff. We started off talking about the Kabbalistic tree of life, talked about the Odiotes, talked about the Hebrew language, talked about the origins of several languages. And now I've talked about systems and continuing to kind of lay out the language that I want to use to dive into this discovery. But before I do that, I feel it's really important to touch on this last topic, which is the concept of evolution. And it's important to me because I was raised in a very strong religious background that didn't accept evolution as a fact. And in fact, when I would have looked at a drawing like the one that's on the screen here as a child, I would have kind of laughed at it and thought it was ridiculous because obviously God made man fully formed and made monkeys fully formed, and there was no, pattern of development between the two. Now I think I've changed my mind on that. I definitely believe that there are moments in time when all the species are kind of like captured, but that over the course of millions of years and long amounts of history, things are shifting. And it's pretty clear that that's happening on a lot of different levels. And so embracing this idea that things are evolving constantly around us, everything is evolving. An example I'll use again is systems. Systems are evolving. You can imagine a bathroom, as I've said before, a bathroom that is at the end of its life. No more water, no more people using it. It's actually an old broken down house, and the bathroom is just a bunch of, broken and rotting wood at that point. That's an evolutionary process that will now decay. It will turn back into some sort of basic materials, basic carbon materials, and be reabsorbed into the environment, and maybe one day be a bathroom again, although very unlikely. But that's the principle of evolution that's really important for me because as I'm talking about this, I'm believing that I'm evolving. I'm believing that the systems that I'm using are also evolving. They can also be devolving, I guess, like going into a less valuable state over time. But overall, I imagine that they're evolving. And so having a kind of a philosophy, a kind of a forward-looking view of the world, that things are evolving in a positive way, that they can be very positive, and they will keep evolving is really important to me. And one of the books that I read on this journey I want to share with you is called Super Cooperators. And you might want to pick it up or take a thumb through it. It's pretty complicated, scientific, written by a Harvard professor, but it's talking about something that was really valuable for me, which is that evolutionary steps don't seem to happen unless they complement at least two different parts of their system. And so he's talking about cellular biology, which in cellular biology, I think there's like five main mechanisms or three main mechanisms for sure. I know of like the electrical, the chemical, and the mechanical systems. And those systems interact with each other. But if any one of them tries to evolve, it has to evolve in a way that's beneficial to one of the other systems. And so that's a key element of evolution and even psychological evolution. I think we need to wrap our heads around is that something can't just evolve all on its own. It has to evolve in partnership with something else. It has to create value for two parties at the same time. And that philosophy is actually really, really interesting when you dive into it, which I'm not going to dive into it much more, but Martin Novak goes into it a ton in the book. But all I want to establish here before I hopefully can make this leap is that evolution is a part of what's going on in my conception of the world. And so what I'm going to talk about is under the philosophy that we can evolve. Humans can evolve, maybe not, into an ape or something from where we are now, but our minds can evolve and change. Now, I think I've set all the framework and foundation that I need to take this next leap and begin talking about the main kind of aha moment that I had. And to do that, though, I want to first publish these videos and get a few people to just view them up to this point. I want to make sure that I haven't left anything out. Assuming that publishing goes well and a few people can give me some feedback on it, let me know if you have any questions, or also just let me know if this is interesting up until now. If you're finding it interesting, shoot me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and follow, and shoot me a comment as well, just to let me know if any of this is resonating with you. I promise you, I'm going somewhere with this. I really want to get to the meat of this. But as I said, it's a complicated idea. As you can tell, all of these things are kind of complicated that we've talked about. Each one of them could go very, very deep. This is about as deep as I think we need to go for now to make this next leap. So please stay tuned. Like I said, like, comment, or subscribe, and I will be getting back to you with some more videos to dive deeper and actually get to the meat of this. Thanks for following so far.